a good view now of Kibo's laboratory. The robotic arm on that lab outstretched to its almost full 10-meter length. It is getting ready to reach out and grab onto the space environment data acquisition experiment, and then it will move it over from that logistics pallet over to the exposed facility itself. View from the outside of the International Space Station as the teams here in Houston coordinate with the crew up there on board the station to continue to install the space environment data acquisition experiment. This is the third of the 3 payloads installed onto that facility. Earlier today, the crew installed the MAXI experiment that takes a look at X-rays out in space. They also installed the inter-orbit communication system, which is a communications link up to where the Kibo Control Center outside of Tsukuba, Japan can talk with the lab. And now this Space Environment Data Acquisition Experiment, which is called SEDA for short.
Here inside the Destiny Laboratory at the Robotics Workstation, pilot Doug Hurley and mission specialist Julie Payette getting ready to begin their robotics work. Flight engineer Bob Thirsk, meanwhile, is going through an exercise section on the station's exercise bike. Payette and Hurley will be using the station's robotic arm to keep the batteries that the 2 spacewalkers are going to be installing within easy reach as they swap them out from the integrated cargo carrier that they were launched in to the P6 truss segment.
I'm happy with the feathers, Tom. Yes, Chris, that was a great call. Chris?
Denver, Houston on bed loop. We watched the translation. Everything looks good with the consumables. No unusual spikes.
Okay, I'll see good feedback. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate that.
Once Cassidy's got the battery removed from the cargo carrier, he can hand it down to Marshburn on the truss, and then the two can work together to what's called shepherd it over to the P6 solar array.
Good. Tom, I'm leaning back. Continue, Doug. Continue motion.
And you can see the battery now removed.
Stop motion, Doug.
They'll be installing this battery C, as the new batteries are designated A through F, into the slot left by battery 3 that mission specialist Dave Wolf and Cassidy removed during the 3rd spacewalk of the mission.
You have control. You are clear to keep your ret and undo your BRT. Give it a little push. Thank you. It just said it's rolled over to Juliet. Is that good, Tom? Yeah, I think so. Tell me what you have, Tim, and I'll just compare it to what this says. Chris, I feel like it's set. It is. It's stuck in Juliet nicely. Okay. Tim, left tooth for H1. Battery 2. What's up, Ian? I think I'm going to use this handrail. I can stay well clear of the APFR. I have a ret. I have control. Okay, you good enough for me to do a glove inspection? Yes. Okay.
Each of these batteries weighs about 367 pounds, and although that doesn't matter so much in microgravity, they are still bulky at 40 by 36 by 18 inches.
And Tommy, if you have any issues, you need us to stop, just yell, otherwise we'll keep going.
Okay, Doug.
Pilot Doug Hurley and mission specialist Julie Payette
Make more LIO and O2.
are driving the station's robotic arm, and mission specialist Tom Marshburn along with it, getting it into place for the removal of the 2nd battery of today. That's actually battery D, the 4th new battery to be removed from the cargo carrier.
Sorry for the delay there, Tom. It's back-to-back Fox 12. There you go, Tom. Stop. Click it in. speed and closing from truss.
Copy that.
Good motion, continue.
You in.
So Chris Cassidy and Tom Marshburn wrapping up the fourth spacewalk of the mission today. It was going to be at a very aggressive timeline for them to get all these batteries swapped out, but they did it. They actually came in a little bit earlier than was expected. The spacewalk was projected to last about 7.5 hours. It ended up running 7 hours and 12 minutes. Once more, a handoff in space about to take place as the station's robotic arm gets ready to hand off this integrated cargo carrier over to the shuttle's robotic arm. This will be the reverse of the process that was done earlier this mission. And there you also see the 6 old batteries getting ready for their ride back home to Earth. Each of these batteries weighs 367 pounds. They were only designed to last about 6.5 years. They've gone well beyond that. So the team's on the ground very curious to get these batteries back down to take a look at them and see exactly what made them last as long as they did.
Station Endeavour on the big loop. We are grappled to ICC with the brakes on. You've got to go to release. Station copy.
The crew of Endeavour wrapping up some busy robotic activity getting this integrated cargo carrier back into Endeavour's payload bay.
Control Houston, view here inside the Destiny Laboratory where pilot Doug Hurley and flight engineer Tim Copra are working at the controls of the Space Shuttle's robotic arm. Teams here on the ground confirmed that the robotic arm is officially grappled to the logistics carrier on the end of the exposed facility. It means it's grabbed on, and the next step will be for Mission Specialist Julie Payette inside the Kibo Laboratory to work the controls that will release the exposed facilities hold on the logistics carrier so that the robotic arm can take over its weight.
We did go safe on the arm.
Mission Specialist Julie Payette has now made it to the soft docked mode for the logistics carrier, an intermediate mode between fully latched and unlatched. And it will now be making its way to the Space Shuttle's robotic arm where Commander Mark Polanski and Mission Specialist Julie Payette will be standing by to take over by gripping it with the shuttle's robotic arm and then reinstalling it into the cargo bay. Space Station robotic arm here being driven by pilot Doug Hurley and flight engineer Tim Copra, backing away from the logistics carrier now that the Space Shuttle's robotic arm has a good grip on it. And the station's robotic arm in motion again as it moves to its park position.
Houston Station, Space Ground 2 for robotics.
Go ahead on Space Ground 2.
Hal, I think we're done with the big arm for the docked ops. We'd just like to thank Sarmat and his team and our trainers for the great job. We enjoyed it. Tim especially enjoyed this last one. And we'll see you guys back on the ground in a few days.
Hey, guys, great job. Doug, Julie, Tim, Koichi, couldn't have done it better. We're real proud.
Thanks a lot, Hal.
So first, Chris, if you'd open the hatch thermal cover, egress, and attach your tether pack when you're complete before you separate. Internally, make your calls. Copy, Dave, inward.
Marshburn and Cassidy continuing with setup work, moving each other's safety tether packs. Again, they have about 45 minutes in all of setup work before they get into their activities as the shuttle and station pass